All right, it is something that affects many of our troops, post-traumatic stress disorder. And this gentleman here to my right is dealing with it, Dr. Eugene Lipov, who has a practice in Hoffman Estates, is here to talk about a new study he is conducting to help those with PTSD. Thank you so much for being here. This is obviously a topic that affects so many of the people out there, not just the vets doctors, but the vets families as well.
Thanks for having me over.
We appreciate you being here. Tell us a little bit what you're trying to do in this study.
What we're trying to do, the study we're talking about, is we're trying to get Illinois veterans, either active duty personnel or veterans with PTSD, and to treat them using a technique that I modified for this condition. And we're also trying to study some of the biological markers associated with PTSD to further understand the biology of it.
Do you think that some soldiers, sailors, or Marines have a genetic predisposition to be inclined to this kind of a thing, or is it something that just affects everybody across the board?
I think there is probably a genetic component. Nobody quite knows that. I think the part I'm interested in is the ones which already have it, who will respond and who will not. I believe there is a way to predict that. I have talked to DARPA about that, the big agency, but they were not quite interested in that factor yet.
Tell me a little bit, paint a picture for me. What is the case for the vets who are returning? They come home, they just don't know how to deal or readjust to society, but I want to hear how you would describe it.
Well, I can give you, how about if I give you one example of a soldier I treated from Peoria. He was a special ops guy out in Iraq. He was shot down twice, knocked out, very common, TBI. And then he was patrolling the street, and he had to shoot a child laden with explosive. The child exploded, he got severe PTSD. He came home, he was married. He came close to killing his wife twice by strangling her. He was taking a lot of medication, he was out of it. He was zoned out.
How does the military react, or how has the military been reacting to this kind of a thing? Are they dealing with it more? Because I think sometimes they kind of turn a blind eye to it.
They're dealing with it poorly, I think. And I think if you talk to the upper echelons in the military, they would agree with that. The medications that have been given have been very ineffective, highly sedating, with severe side effects.
Just to numb you up, huh? Trying to make you forget about it?
Make you a chemical zombie.
Yeah, yeah. And is it not going to get any better anytime soon?
Unless something changes, no, it's going to get much worse. As the drawdown process continues, as you get the soldiers out from the comfort zone, bring them back, there will be suicides, homicides, massive problems.
Do you think a soldier in that kind of condition can return to a so-called state of normalcy?
If they're treated appropriately, that's where I come in, hopefully.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more how people can get in touch with you and participate in this study.
Thank you. If you can call, if you can Google me on Lipov, L-I-P-O-V. Eugene, and PTSD.
And there's your book right there.
Yes, that's the book I wrote. This book has pretty much my positions and what we've done and the biology behind why it works. It's a biological treatment. We're not trying to dope anybody up. We're trying to reset the brain to what it was like before the trauma.
Well, we obviously wish you success in these endeavors. A lot of us have a lot to deal with in this kind of a situation. It affects all of us, really, not just the soldier and the families, but society at large. Most
common PTSD are women who were raped. 20 million like that are in the United States.
Okay, Dr. Lipov, thank you so much for your time.